My name is Carter Reeves, and this is how my wife's family made me disappear. I'm sitting here at Savannah's wedding, my wife Mariah's sister, and I can't shake the feeling that I don't belong. They've put me at this wobbly little two-top table near the back, right by the exit door, like I'm some afterthought they can shove out of sight. There's no name card with my name scribbled on it. No one sitting next to me to make it feel less lonely. Everyone else is decked out in their fancy tailored suits and shimmering designer gowns, clinking champagne glasses under these huge crystal chandeliers that sparkle like they're mocking me. Their laughter fills the room, loud and carefree, bouncing off the walls while I just sit here, staring at the sad excuse for a meal they handed me. It's not even a proper plate, just half a dinner roll that's gone cold and a little pile of wilted greens that look like they were scraped off someone else's dish. I didn't forget to RSVP or show up late. No, this isn't a mistake. They did this on purpose. They wanted me to feel small, and it's working. I shift in my seat, the uneven legs of the table wobbling under my elbows as I poke at the food with my fork. I can hear the chatter from the other tables, stories about Savannah's big day, compliments about the flowers, the music, the perfect couple up front. I'm not part of any of it. I glance across the room and see Mariah, my wife, laughing with her family at one of the main tables, her head thrown back like she doesn't even notice I'm not there beside her. Then Deborah, my mother-in-law, walks over to me, her heels clicking sharply on the polished floor. She leans down close, her perfume so strong it stings my nose, and her voice cuts through the noise like a knife. "You should feel honored, Carter," she says, her lips curling into something that's not quite a smile. "You're just a worthless in-law. Yet here you are." Her words hit me hard, like a punch I didn't see coming. I feel the heat rise in my chest, my throat tightening as I try to keep my face steady. Savannah hears it and laughs from across the room, a sharp little giggle that digs the knife in deeper. Mariah joins in, her laugh softer but just as cruel, like she's in on the joke I've never understood. I don't say anything back. What could I say? Yelling would just make me look like the bad guy, and I'm already on thin ice with these people. So I sit there, staring at my plate, the half-roll sitting there like some kind of sad trophy for putting up with this. I pick it up, take a bite, and chew slowly, letting the dry, stale taste fill my mouth. It's not about the food, it's about swallowing the shame, the same shame I've been choking down for years with this family. I can feel eyes on me every now and then, quick glances from cousins or uncles who don't bother to hide their smirks. I'm the outsider here, the guy who married into the perfect Winston family and never quite measured up. My tie feels too tight, my suit too plain compared to the flashy outfits around me. I tug at my collar, trying to breathe, but the air feels heavy with their judgment. I look at the exit door next to me, just a few steps away. It's tempting to stand up, walk out, leave this whole night behind. But I don't. I stay rooted to this stupid chair, my fingers gripping the edge of the table like it's the only thing keeping me from falling apart. Deborah's words keep replaying in my head. Worthless in-law. She didn't even try to whisper it, didn't care who heard. And Mariah laughing along. It's not the first time she's taken their side over mine, but it stings worse tonight. I thought weddings were supposed to bring people together, but this one's just showing me how far apart we really are. I push the greens around on my plate, not hungry anymore, just moving them to have something to do with my hands. The music swells, some upbeat song that makes everyone else cheer, and I feel like I'm in a different world, one where I'm not invited to join the party. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, showing up to these things where I'm clearly not wanted. Maybe I thought tonight would be different, that they'd finally see me as part of the family after all these years. But it's the same old story, me on the outside, them on the inside, and no one bothering to bridge the gap. I take another bite of the roll, forcing it down even though it tastes like cardboard. The shame sits heavy in my gut, mixing with the anger I'm trying to keep locked down. I won't give them the satisfaction of seeing me crack. Not tonight. Not yet. So I sit here, alone by the exit, wondering how long I can keep pretending this is okay. Wondering how much more I can take before something in me finally breaks. They've always treated me like background noise, something you hear but never really listen to. I'm sitting here at Savannah's wedding, still stuck at that wobbly table by the exit, but my mind's drifting back to a Thanksgiving a few years ago. It was one of the first times I tried to fit in with Mariah's family, back when I still thought I could win them over. I spent all morning in our little apartment kitchen, making my grandmother's sweet potato pie from scratch. I peeled the potatoes, mashed them up, mixed in the sugar and spices just like she taught me when I was a kid. The smell filled the whole place, warm, sweet, like home. I was proud of it, thought it'd be a way to show them I wasn't just some guy tagging along with their daughter. I carried that pie into their big fancy house, the foil dish still warm in my hands, and set it on the counter with the other food. Deborah walked by, barely glanced at it, and said, "Next time, just buy one from the store." Her voice was flat, like she was telling me the weather, not tearing down something I'd put my heart into. I stood there, holding the serving spoon I'd brought, feeling the heat creep up my neck. Mariah was right behind her, shrugging like it was no big deal. "It's fine, Carter," she said, then turned to grab a glass of wine. "Fine." That's all I got. I can still picture that moment, me standing there like an idiot while the rest of them moved on, talking about their fancy vacations and new cars, not even noticing I was still in the room. The pie sat there on the counter, untouched for most of the night, until one of the cousins finally took a slice and didn't say a word about it. I kept waiting for someone to ask where it came from, maybe say it tasted good, but nothing. It was like I'd brought a store-bought cake after all, something cheap and forgettable. That's how they've always seen me: background noise, a hum they can tune out whenever they want. I thought time would fix it, you know? That if I stuck around long enough, showed up to enough dinners and holidays, they'd start to see me as one of them. But here I am at this wedding, years later, and nothing's changed. I'm still the guy they shove to the side, the one they don't bother making space for. I shift in my chair now, the wobbly legs creaking under me, and I pull my phone out of my pocket. I keep it low under the table so no one notices, not that they're looking my way anyway. The screen lights up, and there's an email waiting for me. I tap it open, my thumb shaking a little as I read the subject line. "Congratulations. Gentry project update." My heart jumps, and I scroll down quick. "Your design proposal is the top pick for the Gentry project. You're officially lead architect. We'll follow up with details soon." I read it again, just to make sure I'm not imagining it. Lead architect. This is huge, months of late-night sketching, tweaking plans, pouring everything I had into this project, and it paid off. It's the kind of milestone that could change my career, put my name on something big. I should be jumping out of this chair, grinning like an idiot, texting everyone I know. But I don't move. I don't even smile. I look up from the phone, and the room's still buzzing around me. Mariah's over there with Savannah, clinking glasses, her laugh cutting through the music. Deborah's holding court with some aunt, her voice loud and sharp like always. They don't know about the email, and even if they did, they wouldn't care. To them, I'm still the guy who can't even bring the right pie to Thanksgiving. I tuck the phone back in my pocket, my fingers brushing the fabric of my suit jacket. The news sits there in my chest, heavy but quiet, like a secret I'm not ready to share. I want to tell someone, anyone, but who? The people around me don't see me as an architect, as someone who builds things. They see me as Mariah's shadow, the guy who doesn't fit. I lean back in my chair, the wobble making me catch myself before I tip too far. The half-eaten roll's still on my plate, the greens gone limp. I pick up my fork, poke at them again, just to have something to do. I keep thinking about that pie, how stupid I felt standing there with it. I'd hoped it'd be a bridge, a way to connect with them, but it was just another wall they built between us. And now this, lead architect on the Gentry project. It's proof I'm good at something. Proof I'm not the nobody they think I am. But sitting here, surrounded by their laughter and their fancy clothes, it doesn't feel real. It's like I'm holding this big win in my hands, but I'm too afraid to unwrap it because no one else will care. I glance at Mariah again, her head tilted back as she laughs at something Savannah says. She doesn't even look my way. I wonder if I told her about the email, would she shrug again? Would she say, "That's nice," and turn back to her family like it's nothing? Probably. The music shifts, some slow song starting up, and I watch couples move to the dance floor. I'm still here, alone at this dumb table, the exit door so close I can feel the draft coming through it. I could get up, walk out, go home and celebrate this by myself. But I don't. I stay, staring at my phone under the table, reading the email one more time. It's mine, this win, this moment. They can't take it from me, even if they don't know it's there. I put the phone away and pick up the roll, tearing off a piece. It's cold and dry, but I eat it anyway, chewing slow. Maybe time won't change them. Maybe they'll never see me. But I'm still here, and I've got something they can't touch. For now, that's enough. I'm still sitting at this wobbly table by the exit, the wedding noise swirling around me like a storm I can't escape. My phone's back in my pocket, the email about the Gentry project tucked away like a secret I'm not ready to let out. I'm trying to focus on something else, anything to keep my mind off the way Mariah laughed with her family earlier, but then something happens. The groomsmen at the next table, Some guy with a loud voice and a flashy tie drops his phone. It clatters to the floor, sliding right next to mine under the table. I bend down to pick it up, figuring I'll hand it back and be done with it. My fingers brush against the cold tile, and that's when I see it. Mariah's phone, left on the table above me, screen still lit up because she didn't lock it. She's careless like that sometimes, leaving things out in the open. I don't mean to look, but my eyes catch on a message thread before I can stop myself. The name at the top hits me like a brick, Andre. And the words underneath? Can't wait to see you tonight. You're mine. Wedding or not. Andre. My hand freezes halfway to the groomsman's phone, my breath stuck in my chest like I've been punched. I sit back up slow, my heart pounding so loud I can feel it in my ears. Andre. I know that name. He's the trainer from the gym, the one Mariah's always posting about on her stories, flexing in the mirror, grinning too wide. Always just a gym buddy, she'd say when I asked. I'd see his name pop up on her phone sometimes, late at night when she'd text back quick and tell me it was nothing. I'd let it go because I didn't want to be that guy, the jealous husband who doesn't trust his wife. But this isn't nothing. I set the groomsman's phone on his table without a word, my hands shaky as I lean back in my chair. The wobble under me feels worse now, like the whole world's tilting. I glance at Mariah across the room. She's still laughing with Savannah, her glass of champagne catching the light. She doesn't know I saw. She doesn't know I know. My mind's racing, trying to piece it together. Tonight. He said tonight. While we're here at her sister's wedding, she's got plans with him. I feel sick, like the half-roll I ate earlier is turning to stone in my stomach. I've always had this little voice in the back of my head, whispering that something wasn't right. The way she'd smile at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking, the way she'd brush off my questions about Andre like I was being silly. I'd tell myself I was imagining it, that she wouldn't do that to me. But now it's right there, staring me in the face, and I can't see it. I'm not just invisible to her family, I'm invisible to her too. Worse than that, I'm a placeholder, someone she keeps around while she's got Andre waiting in the wings. I reach into my jacket pocket, my fingers brushing against something hard and small, the USB I've been carrying all night. It's not much to look at, just a little black stick, but it's heavy with everything I've been holding on to. I didn't bring it here to start a fight or make a scene. I brought it because it's a reminder of what I've been through, what I've seen. It's got stuff on it, texts, voicemails, emails Mariah thought she'd gotten rid of. Things that prove I'm not crazy, that I'm not making this up. I found them months ago, late one night when I couldn't sleep, digging through an old laptop she'd left at home. I didn't want to believe it then, but I saved it all anyway, just in case. And now here's this message from Andre, like the final piece of a puzzle I didn't want to finish. I pull my hand out of my pocket, leaving the USB where it is. My eyes drift back to Mariah. She's still over there, glowing in her dress, her hair perfect, her smile bright. She looks happier than she ever looks with me these days. I wonder what she'd say if I showed her the phone right now, if I asked her about Andre in front of everyone. Would she laugh it off again? Tell me I'm overreacting? Or would she just stare at me, caught, with no excuse to throw my way? I don't know. I don't even know if I want to find out. The betrayal doesn't hit me like I thought it would. No big explosion. No tears. It's quieter, colder, like stepping outside into a winter night. It's not a shock. It's a confirmation. All those little doubts I've been shoving down, they're real, and they've been real for a long time. I pick up my fork, poke at the greens on my plate, even though I'm not hungry. The noise of the wedding keeps going. Glasses clinking, people talking, music playing, but it's all muffled now, like I'm underwater. I keep seeing that text in my head, "You're mine." Wedding or not. He's not even hiding it. And she's not either, not really. She left her phone out like it didn't matter, like I wouldn't see. Maybe she doesn't care if I do. Maybe she's that sure I won't do anything about it. I look at the exit door again, so close I could be out of here in 5 steps. I could leave, go home, figure this out on my own. But I don't. I stay, my fingers tight around the fork, my other hand itching to pull that USB out and look at it again. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Confront her? Walk away? Pretend I didn't see? All I know is that something's shifted inside me, like a lock clicking into place. I'm not just the guy they ignore anymore. I'm the guy who knows. And that USB in my pocket, it's not just a reminder now. It's a weapon, one I didn't plan to use but might have to. I take a deep breath, let it out slow, and set the fork down. The wedding keeps going, but I'm not part of it anymore. I'm somewhere else, somewhere they can't reach me. Not yet. I'm still at this shaky little table by the exit, the wedding humming around me like I'm not even here. My fingers keep brushing the USB in my jacket pocket, that tiny piece of plastic and metal that's starting to feel heavier than it should. Mariah's phone message from Andre is burned into my brain. Can't wait to see you tonight. You're mine. But I'm not ready to deal with that yet. Instead, my mind's pulling me back to something else, something from 3 years ago that I've never really let go of. It was a job in Berlin, a big one, designing a new wing for a museum. I'd worked my ass off for it, sketching late into the night, tweaking every line until it was perfect. I flew out there, pitched it to the board, and they loved it. They shook my hand, told me it was a game changer, that I'd hear back soon with the contract. I came home feeling like I'd finally made it, like I was building something real. Then, a week later, an email. We've decided to move in a different direction. Thank you for your time. No explanation, no reason, just gone. I didn't get it at first. I called, emailed, tried to figure out what went wrong, but no one would talk to me. Months later, I heard it through a friend in the industry. Someone had called the board, told them I wasn't stable, that I didn't represent family values. They said I wasn't the right fit, made it sound like I was some kind of mess. My friend didn't know who it was, just that it came from someone close to me. I knew, though. I didn't have proof, no recording or paper trail, but I knew it was Deborah. Mariah's mom had never liked me, always looked at me like I was dirt on her shoe. She'd made little comments before. About my job, my clothes, how I wasn't one of them. But this was her crossing a line, reaching into my life, and pulling something I'd earned right out of my hands. I never confronted her about it. What was the point? She'd deny it, and Mariah would back her up like always. So I let it go, buried it deep, and kept going. I lean back in my chair now, the wobble making me catch myself again. That Berlin job still stings when I think about it, not just because I lost it, but because it showed me what they're capable of. They don't just dislike me, they want me gone, erased from anything that matters. And I stayed anyway. I stayed married to Mariah, kept showing up to their dinners and weddings, swallowing their crap like it was my job. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I could prove them wrong, show them I was worth something. Or maybe I was just too stubborn to walk away. But sitting here tonight, with Andre's text flashing in my head and this USB in my pocket, I'm starting to see it different. Silence doesn't mean I'm weak. It means I've been waiting, holding on to things they don't even know about. That USB, it's not just some random thing I grabbed. It's a folder of truths, stuff I found when I was cleaning up that old laptop a while back. I wasn't looking for trouble, just moving files around. But there they were. Texts Mariah thought she'd deleted, voicemail she didn't know got saved, email she sent from an account she forgot I had access to. Most of it was small stuff, her complaining about me to her friends, saying I was boring, that I didn't get her. But then there was the big one, a photo. She used it in her last lifestyle campaign, the one that got her all those likes and brand deals. It was a shot of a sunset over the city, all golden and perfect, captioned like she'd taken it herself. Except she didn't. I did. It was mine, pulled straight from my hard drive, my watermark still there if you squinted hard enough. She'd cropped it out, passed it off as hers, and never said a word to me about it. I didn't call her on it then. I just saved it to the USB, along with the rest, and kept it to myself. I pull the USB out now, hold it in my hand under the tableware now. It's smooth and cool against my fingers, but it feels alive somehow, like it's buzzing with everything I've been too quiet about. I didn't bring it here to start a war. I brought it because it's a piece of me, a reminder of who I am when they try to make me forget. I'm not just the guy they shove in the corner. I'm the guy who built that museum wing they never saw, the guy who took that photo they stole. I slipped the USB back into my pocket, my chest tight with something I can't name. Anger, maybe, or just exhaustion. I look around the room. Mariah's still over there, laughing with Savannah, her family acting like I don't exist. They've been sabotaging me for years, not just with jobs, but with every little dig, every cold plate of scraps. And I've let them. I pick up my glass of water, only water because they didn't bother giving me champagne, and take a sip. It's warm, tastes like it's been sitting too long, but I drink it anyway. The wedding's still going strong, people dancing and toasting, but I'm stuck in my head, replaying Berlin, replaying that photo. I could have fought back then, could have called Deborah out, could have asked Mariah why she took my work. But I didn't. I stayed silent, and they thought that meant they won. They're wrong. This USB, this little thing in my pocket, it's proof they didn't break me. It's proof I've been watching, waiting, holding on to more than they'll ever know. I set the glass down, my hand steady now. I don't know what I'll do with it yet. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. But it's there, and it's mine, and that's enough for tonight. I'm sitting here at this wobbly table by the exit, the USB in my pocket feeling like a rock I can't ignore. The wedding's moving along. People are dancing, the band's playing something loud, and I'm just trying to keep my head down after seeing that text from Andre on Mariah's phone. I'm still processing it, still feeling that cold twist in my gut, when Deborah comes out of nowhere. It's just before the speeches start, and I've stepped outside the restroom to splash some water on my face, hoping it'll clear my head. I'm wiping my hands on my pants, because of course there's no paper towels, when she blocks my way back into the hall. She's standing there in her fancy dress, all pearls and sharp edges, her arms crossed like she's about to lecture a kid. Her eyes lock onto mine, and I know I'm not getting past her without a fight. She leans in close, her voice low and mean, cutting through the hum of the party behind us. If you so much as raise your voice tonight, Carter, I'll make sure your career ends. I did it once. Don't think I won't again. Her words hit me hard, like a slap I didn't see coming. She's not even pretending anymore. No fake smiles, no polite little jabs. This is her laying it out plain. She's got power over me, and she's not afraid to use it. I think about Berlin, that museum job she killed without blinking, and I know she's not bluffing. She straightens up, smooths her dress like she didn't just threaten to ruin my life, and gives me this tight little smile. You're here as a guest, she says, her tone dripping with venom. Stay invisible. Then she turns and walks back into the reception, her heels clicking away like nothing happened. I'm left standing there, my hands clenched into fists, the dampness from the sink still clinging to my fingers. I want to yell after her, tell her she doesn't own me, but I don't. I just watch her go, her words sinking in deeper with every step she takes. I head back to my table, my legs feeling heavy like I'm wading through mud. The room's the same as before, lights twinkling, people laughing, but it's different now. Deborah's thread is hanging over me, pressing down on my chest. I sit down, the chair wobbling worse than ever, and I have to grip the edge of the table to steady myself. Invisible. That's what she wants me to be, what they've all wanted me to be since I married Mariah. I've spent years trying to fit into this family, taking their insults, eating their scraps, hoping they'd see me as more than just the guy who tagged along. But they don't. And now Deborah's made it clear, if I step out of line, she'll crush me. She did it before, and she'll do it again. I can feel the USB in my pocket, that little piece of proof I've been carrying, and it's tempting to pull it out, to do something with it. But I don't. Not yet. I look across the room at Mariah. She's up near the front with Savannah, fussing with her sister's veil, smiling like everything's perfect. She doesn't know what her mom just said to me, doesn't know I saw that text from Andre. Or maybe she does, and she just doesn't care. I've been invisible to her too, haven't I? All those late nights I spent working, all the times I tried to talk to her about my designs, my dreams, she'd nod, say something vague, and turn back to her phone. I thought it was just her being busy, but now I'm wondering if it was more. If Andre was already there, taking up the space I thought was mine. I rub my hands on my thighs, trying to shake off the thought, but it sticks. Deborah's threat, Andre's text, it's all piling up, and I'm starting to feel like I'm drowning in it. I take a deep breath, let it out slow, trying to keep myself together. The speeches are about to start, some uncle's already tapping a glass with a spoon, calling for attention. I could make a scene right now, stand up and say something, call Deborah out in front of everyone. I picture it for a second, me grabbing the mic, telling them about Berlin, about the USB, about how they've treated me like trash. But then what? She'd twist it, make me look crazy, and by tomorrow she'd have half the industry blacklisting me. She's got the connections, the money, the kind of pull I can't fight head on. No, I'm not angry enough for that. I'm done. Done playing their game, done pretending I can win them over. This isn't about revenge. It's about letting go. I lean back in my chair, the wobble creaking under me, and I feel something shift inside. It's not loud or dramatic, just a quiet click, like a door unlocking. I don't have to stay invisible. I don't have to keep taking this. That USB in my pocket, it's not just a shield anymore. It's a key. I've got one last thing to do tonight, one last role to play before I walk away from this mess. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but I can feel it coming. The uncle's up there now, droning on about love and family, and I almost laugh. Family? What a joke. I glance at the exit door. so close I could slip out and be gone. But I don't. I stay, my hand resting on my pocket, the USB solid against my fingers. Deborah thinks she's won, that I'll keep my mouth shut and fade away. She's wrong. I'm not raising my voice, not yet, but I'm not staying invisible either. I've got something she can't touch, and I'm ready to use it. I'm done sitting at this wobbly table by the exit, done letting Deborah's threat pin me down like some scared kid. The wedding's in full swing now, speeches are over, the band's playing something upbeat, and people are starting to crowd the dance floor. I can still feel her words in my head, stay invisible, but they're not holding me back anymore. I've got the USB in my pocket, Andre's text still burning in my mind, and I'm not just going to sit here and take it. I stand up, my chair scraping loud against the floor, but no one notices. They never do. I smooth my jacket, take a deep breath, and head toward the DJ booth at the far end of the room. My legs feel steady for the first time all night, like I'm finally walking on ground that's mine. The DJ's a young guy, all headphones and messy hair, nodding along to the beat. I lean in close so he can hear me over the music. There's one more presentation, I say, my voice calm but firm. I pull the USB out of my pocket and hold it out to him. He looks at me, confused, his eyebrows scrunching up. I don't have it on the schedule, he says, glancing at the laptop screen in front of him like it's going to tell him what to do. I don't back down. It's on mine, I tell him, keeping my eyes locked on his. He hesitates, scratching the back of his neck, then shrugs and takes the USB. All right, man, your call, he mutters, plugging it into his setup. I nod and walk back to my table, my heart thumping hard but not from fear. It's something else, relief, maybe, or just the feeling of finally doing something. I sit down, smooth the napkin on my lap like it's any other moment, and wait. Across the room, Mariah's taking selfies with Savannah, both of them glowing under the lights, all smug and perfect. Emery, Savannah's new husband, is next to them, grinning like he's won the lottery. He's got no idea what's coming. None of them do. The music fades out, and the lights dim a little. A projector screen drops down from the ceiling, slow and quiet, and the room starts to hush. People look around, confused, whispering to each other, "What's this?" But I just sit there, my hands resting on the table. The DJ clicks something on his laptop, and the first image pops up on the screen. It's Mariah, cuddled up to Andre at the gym, her arm around his neck, both of them smiling like they're the only two people in the world. It's time-stamped, a week before the wedding. The room goes dead silent for a second, then a few gasps break through. I don't look at Mariah yet. I don't need to. I can feel her from here, the shock rolling off her like a wave. The screen flickers, and a video starts playing. It's her voice, soft and clear, coming through the speakers. "He's clueless," she says, whispering into her phone. "Andre's the real thing." Carter just fills the frame. The words hang there, sharp and cold, and the whole place erupts into murmurs. I lean back in my chair, the wobble creaking under me, but I don't care. I'm not hiding anymore. People are turning in their seats, looking at me, then at Mariah, then back at the screen. The video cuts off, and another image pops up, a screenshot of that text I saw earlier. "Can't wait to see you tonight. You're mine, wedding or not." More gasps, louder this time. I finally glance at Mariah. She's frozen, her phone still in her hand, her face pale under the makeup. Savannah's next to her, mouth open, staring at the screen like it's a nightmare she can't wake up from. Emery's standing now, his chair pushed back, looking between the two of them like he's trying to figure out what's real. I don't say anything. I don't have to. The USB's doing the talking for me, laying it all out. Every lie, every secret, every time they thought I wouldn't notice. The screen keeps going. There's a voicemail next, Deborah's voice, clipped and professional, leaving a message for some PR rep. "Don't hire Carter Reeves," she says. "He's just Mariah's dead weight. No value there." I hear her loud and clear, and so does everyone else. A few heads turn toward her table, where she's sitting with her wine glass halfway to her mouth, her hand shaking. Then another photo, Mariah's lifestyle campaign shot, the sunset I took, my watermark still faintly visible in the corner before she cropped it out. It's all there, piece by piece, everything I've been holding on to. The room's buzzing now, people whispering, pointing, some of them pulling out their phones to take pictures of the screen. I just sit there, my napkin still on my lap, watching it unfold. Mariah finally looks at me, her eyes wide and wet, but I don't feel sorry for her. She made her choices. Savannah's tugging at Emery's arm, saying something I can't hear, but he's shaking his head, stepping back. Deborah slams her glass down, standing up so fast her chair nearly tips over. "This is manipulation," she yells, her voice cutting through the noise. "Fabricated nonsense." A few people nod, unsure, but most just stare, waiting to see what happens next. I don't move. I don't yell back. I just watch, letting the truth do its work. The screen goes black, the presentation done, and the room's a mess of chatter and shock. I pick up my water glass, take a sip, and set it back down. It's warm and flat, but it doesn't matter. I'm not invisible anymore. They see me now, all of them, and there's nothing they can do about it. The projector screen's gone dark, but the room's still buzzing like a kick beehive. I'm sitting at my wobbly table by the exit, the empty water glass in front of me, watching everything I put on that USB rip through this wedding like a storm. People are whispering, pointing, some of them staring at me like I've grown a second head. I don't flinch. I just sit there, my hands resting on the table, feeling the weight of what I've done. Across the room, Emery's on his feet, his face twisted up in confusion and hurt. He turns to Savannah, his voice loud enough to cut through the chatter. "What is this?" he asks, pointing at the blank screen where Mariah's video with Andre just played. Savannah's gone pale, her hands gripping the edge of the table, her mouth opening and closing like she's a fish out of water. She doesn't have an answer, and neither does Mariah, who's sitting next to her, staring at the floor like it might swallow her up. The room's a mess of noise now, gasps, murmurs, a few nervous laughs from people who don't know what else to do. I can see Deborah out of the corner of my eye, still standing, her face red with fury. She's yelling about manipulation, calling it all fake, but no one's really buying it. Not after they heard her voice on that voicemail, telling some PR rep I'm dead weight. Not after they saw Mariah's photo, my photo with my watermark still there. It's too real, too raw, and they know it. Emery takes a step back from Savannah, shaking his head like he's trying to clear it. "I don't get it," he says, quieter now, but the hurt's still there. "You knew about this?" Savannah stammers something, but it's not words, just sounds, and he turns away from her, running a hand through his hair. I almost feel bad for him, almost. He's just collateral damage in this mess Mariah and her family made. The screen might be off, but the damage is done. People are still looking at those images in their heads, Mariah with Andre, her whispering about me being clueless, Deborah's cold voice cutting me down. I push my chair back, the wobble creaking loud, and stand up. The mix still sitting there by the DJ booth, and I walk over to it, slow and steady, my shoes tapping on the floor. The room quiets down some as I pick it up, the weight of it solid in my hand. I don't shout. I don't need to. "You called me background," I say, my voice even, carrying over the crowd. "But I built the damn picture. You fed me scraps, and tonight, I fed you facts." I pause, letting that sink in. A few people clap, soft at first, then louder, like they're waking up. Others just stare, mouths open, not sure what to make of me. I don't care. I'm not here for their applause. I look at Mariah, and she's finally looking back at me. Her eyes are wet, her mascara starting to smear, but it's not sadness I see. It's panic, maybe shame, but not regret. She's not broken because she's sorry, she's broken because she's been caught, because the perfect little show she's been putting on just fell apart. Savannah's still next to her, whispering something, but Mariah doesn't move. She just sits there, hands in her lap, like she's waiting for someone to fix it. Deborah's not waiting, though. She storms toward me, her heels clicking fast, her face twisted up like she's ready to tear me apart. "You little," she starts, but I cut her off, holding the mic steady. "You did this," I say, not loud, just clear. "You and her." I just turned the lights on. She stops, her mouth snapping shut, and for once, she doesn't have a comeback. The room's watching, waiting, and I can feel the shift. They're not on her side anymore. Emery's had enough. He pulls his wedding ring off, slow and deliberate, and sets it on the table in front of Savannah. "I don't know what's going on here," he says, his voice shaky but firm, "but I'm not sticking around for it." Savannah gasps, reaching for him, but he steps back, shaking his head. "No," he says, and walks toward the exit, right past my table, right out the door. The crowd parts for him, and a few people mutter, shocked. Savannah slumps in her chair, her hands covering her face, and I can't tell if she's crying or just hiding. Mariah's still staring at me, her lips trembling, but she doesn't say a word. I set the mic down, the thud echoing a little, and head back to my seat. The clapping's died down, but the whispers are louder now, people leaning in to talk about what they just saw. Deborah's not done yet. She follows me, her voice hissing like a snake. You think you've won? You've ruined everything. I turn to face her, calm as I can manage. No, I say. You ruined it. I just stopped pretending. She glares at me, her hands balled into fists, but before she can snap back, Walter, Mariah's dad, steps up. He's been quiet all night, just watching from the sidelines like he always does, but now he puts a hand on Deborah's arm. Enough, he says, his voice low but steady. Carter just stopped playing along. She jerks away from him, stunned, but he doesn't budge. I didn't expect that from him, not after years of him letting her run the show. It's not much, but it's something. I grab my jacket from the chair and head for the exit. The air outside hits me, cool and sharp, and I breathe it in deep. I'm not triumphant, not jumping for joy. I'm just free of their lies, their games, their scraps. The wedding's still going behind me, music starting up again, but I don't look back. I've said what I needed to say, shown what I needed to show. They can deal with the mess now. I'm done being their shadow. I'm walking out of that wedding hall, the cool night air hitting my face like a wake-up call, and I don't feel like a hero. I just feel lighter, like I've dropped a weight I didn't even know I was carrying. Behind me, the music's starting up again, muffled through the doors, but it's not my world anymore. I've left the USB, the screen, Mariah, Deborah, all of it, back there to rot in the mess they made. I don't turn around, don't check to see who's watching me go. I just keep moving, my shoes crunching on the gravel lot, my breath fogging up in the chilly March night. Inside, it's chaos. I know it is. Emery's gone. Ring off, storming out after seeing Mariah's secrets splashed across that screen. Savannah's probably still sitting there, stunned, her perfect day turned into a wreck. And Deborah's fuming, no doubt, trying to spin it like I'm the bad guy. But I'm done with their script. I hear the door swing open behind me, fast footsteps chasing after someone, and I catch Mariah's voice, high and desperate. Emery, wait, she calls, but it's not me she's running for. I keep walking, my hands in my pockets, the USB gone now. Left with the DJ, my part played out. She's not calling my name, not begging me to stop. I don't expect her to. I slow down just enough to glance over my shoulder, and there she is, her dress catching the light as she stumbles after Emery's retreating figure. He doesn't stop, doesn't even look back, just keeps heading for his car. I step in her path before she can get too far, blocking her with my body. She stops short, her eyes wide and wet, her breath coming out in little puffs. You had someone who stayed. I say, my voice low, steady. And you mocked him. She doesn't answer, just stares at me, her lips pressed tight. Silence. That's all she's got for me now. Silence when it's too late to matter. I step aside, let her go, and she hesitates for a second before running off again, her heels clicking unevenly on the gravel. I watch her disappear into the shadows, chasing after a guy who's already done with her family's drama. I don't feel sorry for her. She chose this, Andre, the lies, the way she let them treat me like nothing. I turn back toward my own car, the old sedan parked at the far end of the lot, and keep moving. The night's quiet out here, just the sound of my steps and the distant hum of the party I've left behind. I'm almost at the car when I hear more footsteps, slower this time, and I know who it is before I turn around. Deborah is standing by the coat check, her arms crossed, her face tight with anger. She's waiting for me, like she's got one last shot to take me down. You humiliated us, she hisses, stepping closer, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. She's clutching her purse like it's a weapon, her knuckles white. I stop, turn to face her fully, and I'm not scared of her anymore. No, I say, keeping it simple, keeping it true. You did. I just played the tape. Her eyes narrow, and for a second, I think she might slap me, but she doesn't. She just stands there, breathing hard, like she's trying to find the right words to twist this back on me. Before she can, Walter's there again, coming up behind her, his face tired but firm. Deborah, enough, he says, same as before, but there's a weight to it now. She spins on him, shocked, but he doesn't flinch. He's right, Walter adds, looking at me for the first time all night. You pushed him too far. She stares at him, then at me, and I can see the fight draining out of her. She doesn't say anything else, just turns and stalks back inside, her shoulders stiff. I nod at Walter, not sure what to make of him stepping in like that. He doesn't smile, doesn't say more, just heads back to the hall, leaving me alone again. I unlock my car, slide into the driver's seat, and shut the door. The quiet wraps around me, the engine humming soft when I start it up. I don't feel triumphant. Don't feel like I've won some big battle. I just feel free of their rules, their lies, their way of making me small. I pull out of the lot, the gravel crunching under my tires, and head home. The road's empty, the headlights cutting through the dark, and my mind's replaying it all. Emery walking out, Mariah running after him, Deborah's face when I threw her words back at her. It's over, whatever it was. The marriage, the family, the pretending. I think about that table by the exit, the half-roll, the way they laughed at me. I think about Andre's text, Deborah's threat, the USB spilling it all out. I didn't plan this, not exactly, but I'm not sorry it happened. They thought they could keep me in the background forever, but I stepped into the light tonight, and they couldn't stop me. My phone buzzes in my pocket as I drive, probably the Gentry Project email or some friend asking what the hell went down, but I don't check it. Not yet. I just keep driving, the city lights blurring past, my hands steady on the wheel. I don't know what's next, divorce papers, probably, or maybe Mariah begging for a second chance she won't get. But for now, I'm out. I'm free. And that's enough. It's been a month since I walked out of that wedding, since I left Mariah and her family scrambling in the wreckage of their own lives. I'm in my design studio now, a small space I rented downtown after moving out of the house we shared. It's just me, a desk piled with sketches, and a big window letting in the gray light of a rainy afternoon. The sound of water tapping against the glass is steady, calming, and I'm hunched over a new project, pencil scratching across paper. I've been keeping busy. Work's picked up since the Gentry Project win, and I'm throwing myself into it, building something that's mine. The past few weeks have been quiet, no calls from Mariah, no threats from Deborah. I figured they'd cut me out for good after that night, and I was fine with it. Then I hear a knock at the door, soft but firm, cutting through the rain's rhythm. I look up, surprised. Nobody drops by here unannounced. I set my pencil down, wipe my hands on my jeans, and walk over to open the door. There she is, Mariah, standing in the hallway, soaked from head to toe. Her hair's plastered to her face, no makeup to hide the shadows under her eyes, and she's shivering in a thin jacket that's doing nothing against the downpour. She looks smaller than I remember, like the rain's washed away all the shine she used to carry. I'm not here for pity, she says quick, her voice rough, like she's been rehearsing it. I need work. I stare at her, my hand still on the doorknob, not sure what to say. This is the woman who laughed at me, who ran around with Andre, who let her family treat me like dirt. And now she's here, dripping wet, asking me for a job. I don't move, don't invite her in, just stand there taking her in. She's not crying, not begging, just waiting, her arms crossed tight like she's holding herself together. I step back finally, letting the door swing open wider, and she walks in, leaving little puddles on the hardwood floor. Why here? I ask, crossing my arms too, keeping my distance. She shrugs, looking at the sketches on my desk instead of me. I don't have anywhere else, she says, simple and flat. After the wedding, the brand deals dried up. Savannah's a mess, Mom's blaming me, and I can't. I can't just sit there. I nod slow, letting that sink in. The fallout must have hit her hard, her perfect little world crumbling after I put it all up on that screen. I don't feel bad for her, not after everything, but I don't hate her either. She's just someone I used to know, someone who's got nothing left to throw at me. All right, I say, leaning against the desk. You start Monday. You'll assist the interns, no shortcuts, no credit. That's it. She blinks, surprised, like she didn't expect me to say yes. Okay, she says, nodding quick, her wet hair sticking to her neck. Thanks, Carter. I don't answer that, just point to a chair in the corner. Sit there till the rain stops. I've got work to do. She does what I say, no arguing, no drama, just sits and stares out the window while I go back to my sketches. It's weird having her here, quiet like this, no fight in her. I keep drawing, the pencil moving steady, but my mind's spinning. I didn't take her back, not as a wife, not as anything personal. I gave her a job, a broom to sweep the floor with, because that's where she's at now. Rebuilding starts from the bottom, and I'm not carrying her up. The rain keeps falling, tapping harder against the glass, and I think about that night at the wedding. Emery walking out, Deborah's face when I called her bluff, Mariah running after someone else. I haven't talked to any of them since, didn't need to. I moved out, got this studio, focused on my work. The Gentry Project's coming along, and I've got new clients calling, people who see my name and want what I can build. I don't need their approval anymore, don't need their table. Mariah's sitting there now, silent, and I wonder what she's thinking. Is she mad? Scared? Or just lost? I don't ask. It's not my job to figure her out anymore. She's here because she's got nowhere else, and I'm letting her in because I can, not out of kindness, but because it doesn't cost me anything to watch her start over. I finish a sketch, set it aside, and grab another sheet. The lines come easy, my hand steady, and I feel solid, grounded. This studio's mine. Every pencil, every blueprint, every inch of it. Mariah's just a visitor now, someone passing through. The rain slows a little, and she shifts in her chair, pulling her jacket tighter. You don't have to do this, she says after a while, her voice soft. I don't look up. I know, I say, keeping my eyes on the paper. But you're here, and I've got floors that need sweeping. She doesn't argue, just nods again, and we sit there in the quiet, the rain filling the space between us. I don't forgive her. I don't have to. This isn't about her anymore. It's about me, about what I'm building, and she's just a small piece of it now, sweeping up the dust while I move forward. It's Saturday night, and I'm standing in the middle of my exhibit, Structures of Truth, feeling the hum of the crowd around me. The gallery's packed, architects, collectors, friends, people who've come to see what I've built. The walls are lined with my designs, blueprints, and models lit up under soft spotlights, every line and angle telling a story I've been working on for years. The air smells like wine and wood polish, and there's a low buzz of voices, people talking about the work, about me. I'm in a dark suit, no tie, my hands in my pockets, just taking it all in. This is mine. Every piece, every moment, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like I belong somewhere. My assistant, Miles, comes up beside me, a glass of bourbon in his hand. He's grinning, his curly hair a mess, and he holds the drink out to me. To the ones who built from silence, he says, raising his own glass. I take mine, clink it against his, and smile, small but real. Thanks, Miles, I say, and we drink, the burn of the bourbon warming my chest. I look around the room, watching people move from one display to another, pointing at the sketches, nodding like they get it. This exhibit isn't just about buildings. It's about everything I've held on to, everything I turned into something solid when they tried to make me disappear. The Gentry Project model's in the center, a sleek tower of glass and steel, and it's getting the most attention. People keep coming up to me, shaking my hand, saying things like, "This is incredible," and "You've got a real vision." I nod, say thanks, keep it short. I'm not used to this, being seen, being the one they're here for, but it feels good, like I've finally stepped out of the shadows. I catch a glimpse of myself in a glass panel, my reflection sharp against the light, and I almost don't recognize the guy looking back. He's not the one who sat at that wobbly table by the exit, eating scraps. He's someone else, someone who built his own table. Then I see her, Mariah, across the gallery, near the back. She's hanging lights, her hands steady as she clips them into place. No fuss, no drama. She started working for me on Monday, just like I told her, assisting the interns, sweeping floors, doing the small stuff I don't have time for. She's quiet about it, doesn't complain, just shows up and gets it done. Tonight, she's here helping set up, part of the crew, but not part of the spotlight. No one's clapping for her, no one's even looking her way, and she doesn't seem to mind. I watch her for a second, her hair tied back, her face plain without the makeup she used to wear like armor. She's not the woman I married, not the one who laughed with her family while I sat alone. She's just here, present, doing what I asked. I don't feel anything for her anymore. No anger, no pity, just a kind of distance that's peaceful in its own way. I turn back to the crowd, sipping my bourbon, letting the night carry me. Miles is chatting up some collector, waving his hands like he's pitching my work harder than I ever would. I smile again, shaking my head a little. He's been with me since the studio opened, the first person I hired, and he's got this energy that keeps things moving. I'm lucky to have him, lucky to have this. People who see me, who get what I'm trying to do. The exhibit's a hit, and I can feel it, the way the room's alive with it. I walk over to one of my sketches, a simple frame on the wall, and run my fingers along the edge. It's an old one, something I drew years ago when I was still with Mariah, still trying to prove myself. It's rough, but it's honest, and I'm glad I kept it. It's part of the story, part of me. Later, when the crowd thins out, I head to my private office in the back. It's small, just a desk and a chair, a shelf with some books and a few framed photos. I close the door, the noise of the gallery fading to a hum, and sit down. The bourbon's still in my hand, half gone, and I set it on the desk, leaning back to breathe. My eyes land on the wall on a photo I hung up there a while back. It's me, just me standing in front of the studio the day I moved in. I'm not smiling in it, but I look steady, like I knew I'd make it here. Underneath, I wrote something in ink, one sentence, still visible. I read it now, tracing the words with my eyes, and they hit me hard. I'm still here, still standing, still seen. I think about the wedding, that night I walked away. I think about Mariah out there, hanging lights, and how she's not part of this anymore, not really. She's just someone I used to know, someone who's sweeping floors while I build towers. The exhibit, the studio, the people out there, they're my table now, when I made myself. I don't need her family's approval, don't need her to see me. I've got this, and it's enough. I pick up the bourbon, finish it in one slow sip, and set the glass down. The rain started again outside, tapping against the window, but I don't mind. I'm good here, alone in this little room, with my work and my truth. I'm visible, finally, and that's all I need to be.